Hi, welcome to my studio. I'm Lisa, and I've been putting out a bunch of new videos on YouTube, and you guys are really responding to what we're putting out there. So thank you for that. We appreciate it. We love your comments, love that you're watching, love that you guys are getting excited and motivated and inspired by these videos. So I posted a video about priming ceramic shelves, and a lot of questions came up about how do you prime stainless steel? Do you prepare it? What do you do if it rusts? What do you do? All these different questions. So we thought we'd bring you a video today that addresses that subject all by itself. So stainless steel molds are great for slumping. They can withstand the heat in the kiln, and they give us different shapes than ceramic molds might. A lot of times when you're doing stainless steel, you'll be draping your glass, meaning putting it on top and having the glass drape over this way. And then there's also ones like this where you would put your glass on it and it gives it a nice curvature. And then of course there's other different molds I'll bring up later. But so when you're looking for a stainless steel mold, you go to your home store, okay, and you think, wow, they have these really cool stainless steel pieces. Can I use them? Well, the truth is a lot of times that stainless steel is not as high a quality as the stainless steel products that you would get from your art glass supplier. Quality is important because it withstands the heat and it doesn't rust on you. I have had a project, I did use a bowl from, like a Kmart or Walmart or Home Store or IKEA, and it rusted. The bowl rusted and the rust ended up on my glass, in my glass project. So that's not a great idea, wasn't a great result for me. So I would recommend, even though when you look at your art glass supplier and you say, wow, this stainless steel is really expensive, it's okay because the mold will last you forever. And you'll have a really nice quality outcome and you won't have rust in your artwork. So that's really important. So I have here a bunch of different, 3 different floral formers or drapers, as you might call them. And this one is brand new. Look how pretty and shiny that is. Well, when they're brand new, there's an oil that they use to spin these to make the shape. Well, you want to burn that oil off or get rid of that oil because the primer won't stick as easily with that oil on there. So what I do is I take my fresh, clean, brand new stainless steel and I put it in the kiln and fire all by itself to the temperature that I'm going to use it at. Usually slumping is about 1265 degrees. So I take this at 1265 all by itself. When it comes out of the kiln, it has this beautiful seasoned look. It has this kind of dark color and it has kind of like what you would see on the inside here, this almost like when you would season cast iron pots, same thing. You season it, you remove the oil, and then the primer sticks better. So after you prime it, it looks like this. Now I wanted to show you what happens when you wash this off. Stick it in this bucket here, just rinse off that old primer. Now it's not necessary to do this, but if you feel like you want to kind of address the exterior of your mold, and you want to take, if it has any rust on it, you want to get the rust off, you might want to wash the primer off first. Now because the stainless steel is not porous, it doesn't absorb water and it dries off pretty quickly. But see this kind of ring of rust around the top? So after you take your brand new one and you fire it to the temperature you're going to use it at, about 1265, it comes out of the kiln looking like this. And this has a little more texture. It's called tooth texture that the primer will stick to. Whereas this, with the oil, the primer doesn't stick well at all. Other people recommend that you heat the mold to prime it because the heat will make that moisture dissipate and the primer will stick. But you have to heat it up to about 500 degrees. Have you ever handled a piece of hot metal at 500 degrees and then try to prime it? I don't really care for that method. I think my heating it on its own, giving it this nice little texture, it works just as well. And it's easy. It's easy. So just take that brand new mold, put it in the kiln, heat it to 1265, comes out looking like this, then it primes like a piece of cake. So I'm going to take some sandpaper to this. So I'm going to put on this cute little mask. Make sure I got it going the right way because it's going to create some dust. All right. Hello. Okay, this sandpaper is stiff. This is a silly look. Okay, let's take it off. This sandpaper is stiff. It's the kind you would use to sand drywall after it's speckled. So here I've got a little sample of it here. This is very old. So it's lasted me forever. So it's drywall and plaster sanding screen first float 120 grit. So it's very stiff. It feels like screen but stiffer. So here's a little cutoff piece. This is the piece the size it comes out of the package. See that? And it's real handy to have in your studio. And you can use it to sand your stainless steel molds. You can also use it to sand your ceramic molds. I'm gonna put my mask back on. Here we go. I don't even know if I have this on the right way. I'm gonna take this sandpaper and just very gently go over the mold. Again, to give it some tooth and to remove any rust. All right, there we go. Now, it's not necessary to do that every time. It's not even necessary to do that, you know, all that frequently. I just wanted to show you if you do have rust on there, that might be a good way to get rid of it. And then let this dry before you prime it. But you don't have to do that either. What I am going to do is move these forward a little bit, and I'm going to take my mask, put it back on. Oops. And then I'm going to sweep the table. We can see the material that came off on this screen here. I'm going to sweep the table so that this rust doesn't get back into my primer and on my mold. Okay, so I got that taken care of. All right, so most of my towels are white. You can see this one's pink. And guess what? It has primer on it. So I'm going to lay that out first because I like to keep my tables kind of clean. All right, and right here, now this one has been washed and sanded. This one has not. So how do you know when to wash and when to sand? Great question. So look at your mold. If you feel like, you know, there's areas where the primer is not even, it's chipping off, showing signs of wear, you see a little bit of discoloration, go ahead and wash it and sand it. If not, or if you're in a hurry, or, you know, we're taking these to lower temperatures than the primer can really withstand. So we have great results even just priming right over this. So right here I have my primer. This is Bullseye Shelf Primer. I mix it by the manufacturer's instructions. I usually do about 3 parts water to 1 part powder mixture. It should be kind of the consistency of like chocolate milk. This is a hake brush. A hake brush retains a lot of moisture and leaves very little texture on your mold. You don't want a lot of texture because your glass will pick up that texture in the bottom of the project, and then the bottom isn't as smooth and shiny. So I'm going to take my brush and stir this. I'll move this clean one over here a little bit. And I'm just going to take this brush, go over the top, and go up the sides. There's no point in putting more than 1 coat on because the mold isn't porous. It's not going to absorb it. And see how it has like a little pink cast to it? Now this one we washed and we sanded. We did not wash or sand this one. Stir that primer again because it settles on the bottom. Go over the top and go up the sides. Oops, hello. Now this one seems to be kind of running or pitting a little bit. That's okay. Remember this, we're only going to take these to about 1265 or less. So, and this primer can withstand temperatures upwards of 1600. So basically what we're doing is just putting enough on there so the glass does not stick. Okay, we missed some over here. Let's go ahead and make sure we get a good coating on this entire thing. There we go. All right, see now how it's surprising, right? But look, it takes on a pink cast. So you know it's been coated. You know it's been primed. So it's kind of cool. I'm going to move this one out of the way temporarily because I want to move another one in to our view here. Let's bring this one over. Now this one is an S-shaped mold, really nice. And it's got a little discoloration to it. It's been sitting on my shelf for a while. I'm going to go ahead and mix the primer and then just apply a nice coat and see how it turns pink? And it kind of runs to the low spots. That's fine, don't worry about it. We're just going to move that back over here, let that dry. Once it's dry, I'll put it back on the shelf for storage. Until then, I want to let it stay out so that it doesn't stick to anything else and so the primer stays on there. Now I wanted to show you, here's one of my sink molds. Check that out, right? This is a big, gigantic mold. And look at the back side, that nice coloring we have there. You know, it's a shame anyone who cooks, they get these stainless steel pieces. They're like, oh, they're so beautiful because they're stainless steel and shiny. And for us, we really like this matte finish better. So here's the inside of the mold. You think, wow, this is gigantic, right? How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to show you. I just take my primer, kind of go around the edge, See how it all runs to the bottom? That's fine. We just want to make sure we get one nice even coat on the entire thing. Like that. I'll bring it to me a little bit more. Hopefully you guys can see this, how it's going on. But see how it just runs to the middle? That's fine. Oops, I can't reach. There we go. All right, I got the whole thing coated. Okay, so we did not sand this. We did not wash this. We just primed right over the top. Look how beautiful that is. And now that little extra puddling in there is just going to end up in the bottom. That's fine. This sink mold, I only take these up to about 1220 degrees when I slump in these molds. So again, this primer can withstand temperatures upwards of 1600 and higher. So this low temperature, all we need is a little coating on there to protect that glass. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you and with your own stainless steel molds, how to handle them, how to prime them, and how to maintain them. Now the stainless steel molds are kind of a forever mold. So that's what's nice about them. You won't break them. You don't, they will last you forever, provided you're careful and don't drop them on the ground. So when this is dry, I'm going to stack it with my other sink molds. This will get stacked with my other S molds. These get stacked with my other floral former molds, and I'll just wait until I'm ready to use them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Please visit my website. I've got some new fun t-shirts I would like you to check out. And like, subscribe, follow, all the above. And I have a membership, a video membership. I'd love to invite you to join. That video membership, right now there's 9 videos for $10. And there's going to be a 10th video next week, coming up really soon. So great deal, great projects, a lot of fun. And be part of our little membership group where you get to have some other perks as well. So thanks for joining me, and until next time, happy fusing!